Hi everyone, it's Lisa here, Lisa Loves Stitchin'. I changed my name recently from Lisa Loves Yarn, but you can still find me on Ravelry as Lisa Loves Yarn 76, or on Instagram you can now find me as Lisa Loves Stitchin'. And I haven't done a yarn related podcast for a while. I have recorded numerous times and it just keeps failing because I get an error or whatever. Anyway, I decided to try recording direct into YouTube, so fingers crossed this works because I'm sick of trying to record and it fails. So, straight into FOs. I've been working on the Matilda sweater. I got the yarn when I went on holiday to Melbourne, which is when I last recorded a yarn related podcast. I went to Morris & Sons in Melbourne. I had originally picked some black wattle yarn that was in blue, but it was too fine. It was like a 3-ply and I needed a 4-ply. And I thought it wouldn't matter 1-ply difference, but it did. The fabric just wasn't right. So I went to Morris & Sons in the city and I picked up some yarn, Empire yarn. I don't have the tag. It's in Vivid Red and it's Empire and it's 4-ply. Super fine Australian Merino. So here it is. It's a pattern by, it's called the Matilda sweater by Along Avec Anna. And she is a French lady based in the UK and she has really lovely patterns, so I recommend going and having a look, both adult and children, size cardigans and tops. And yeah, I did this sweater. I think what drew me to it was this whimsical little ruffled collar. It's just really pretty, and this beautiful textured fabric that it makes, and it's very simple and easy to knit with a twisted rib bottom. And I know I've said before I hate twisted rib. Well, I've changed my mind. I really like it. I actually really enjoyed knitting it on here, and it just made it look really lovely. And I also did it on the cuffs, and that's just everything as the pattern called for. The ruffle collar, I thought, I did everything, sleeves included, and then, oh no, I did the ruffle first after I finished the body, then did the sleeves because I thought I'd have trouble with the ruffle, so I thought I'd just get it out of the way. But it was actually super simple with an I-cord edge, and then at the back, so you can fit their head in, it's split and it's got a little tie, and you're supposed to do it as an I-cord tie, but I couldn't get it to work out, so I just did a crochet chain and slip stitched along it on each side to make the tie, and that worked out fine. And once it's blocked, the collar sits down perfectly, and it's just a really lovely little sweater. It's very soft and easy care because this yarn you can gentle machine wash, so you know, being for a child, I wanted it to be super simple. You don't want to have to make someone sit there and soak it. And yeah, so this one's going off to Switzerland for Christmas for young Ida, and yeah, so I hope she enjoys wearing it very much. I'll be sending a box of goodies for Christmas with it. So that's my FO. And then I'll just put that away, and then I'll just show you a recent purchase. My cousin, I recently told you last time that I was going to knit or crochet a pot holder for my cousin Michelle, and I was very slack and didn't do it, and although pot holders are super easy and would probably take a weekend to do, I just couldn't do it. I just didn't do it. So I ended up, Wayne and I were in Gympie recently. It's on past the Sunshine Coast and north of Brisbane, and I went to a little vintage shop and they had this cute crochet tea cozy with pink and different coloured pink roses, and it was just exactly what I wanted, except I was going to do green here, but this was worked out perfect. So I got this for her, and I'll send that in a package with some biscuits and things to go with it, and she can use that for her her mum's tea set. And it is hand knit by hand crocheted by someone, just not me, because I'm slack. And I'll show you something else that I will send with it, a pot holder. So yeah, so I bought this. Sometimes you just got to know when it's not going to happen for you and find an alternative. So that's that. And the other thing I've finished recently is some pot holders. So they're felted. Emily of Arctic Knitting, who's based in the Arctic Circle in Norway, She has a really excellent podcast. I really love watching hers, and she does lots of vlogs and everything, and it's really fun to see all around where she lives in the Arctic Circle. She works in a yarn store, and she also dyes yarn and sells on her own website, and she spins and knits and crochets and cross stitches and does all sorts of things. So she inspired me to do this. So she's been making felted pot holders for Christmas gift knitting. She did some that were knitted and some that were crocheted. So this is mine. So my first attempt failed because the one I did originally, the top half didn't felt because it was superwash. I had accidentally picked up the wrong yarn out of my stash, and this one I used down the bottom here on that other one. It felted nicely, as you can see, because it's pure wool. So just make sure that when you're doing it you have checked that it is just pure wool and it's not been treated, so that it will felt properly. And I just put it, as suggested by Emily, in a 40-degree wash with a towel in there to help make it felt. And I just did a corner to corner crochet square. So I did it about 12 stitches, 12 of the corner to corner stitches wide, and then started the decreases, and it takes about 80 to 100 grams of yarn. I just started off with a crochet chain to make a loop the size I wanted. Then I slip stitched along it and then slip stitched it to join it up, and then I cast on the chain for the start of the corner to corner and worked my way to the end, and that's it. And then I just threw it in the wash with a towel at 40 degrees, and out come a felted pot holder. So that will be going to my cousin as well to go with her tea cozy. And this is another one I finished, but I haven't felted it yet. So I did this one. This one was done in 8-ply DK weight yarn, and this is done in Aran weight yarn, and I used probably most of a 50-gram ball for that one. So if you've got Aran weight, you actually get more for less. And I'm just waiting to make some more, and then I'll throw them in the wash together so they can felt. So this is just a nice olive green. I just used Four Seasons brand from Spotlight, super cheap and does the trick. It doesn't need to be fancy yarn for what it is. It's a pot holder, and yeah, so just did 12 again wide, and then start the decreases, and then that's what it comes out looking like, is all felted. So you want it felted because at the moment, whilst it's thick, there's still gaps in there, you can see, and there's still a potential that, you know, your finger could slip through and you get burnt. So when you felt it, you still have the definition of the stitches, but there's no light, not much coming through there, so your fingers are protected when you're using it as a pot holder, which is what you're making it for, is to protect your hands from the heat. So definitely recommend doing those. They take one evening to do one, just a couple of hours, and you've got them done. You can make a whole pile up and then have them there to give at Christmas for little gifts, maybe to your co-workers, just a small gift with a little bit of chocolate or something, just a very inexpensive gift. I think I spent like, I don't know, $3 or something, $3.50 a ball or whatever, so very cheap. So cheap, but pretty and practical, and just because it's inexpensive yarn doesn't mean it's not something good. So I bought some more yarn at Spotlight yesterday for that purpose. So I got this teal Four Seasons 100-gram ball of 8-ply in this teal blue, so that's really pretty. That'll be one pot holder. And then I got 4 of these balls of, like, it looks sort of grey here, but it's actually like an ice blue, a very pale blue, and it's just the Four Seasons 8-ply. It's just the 50-gram balls. I couldn't get it in a 100-gram, so I just got 4 balls of this. So that's enough for another 2 pot holders. Yeah, so that's all of that. Now my current whip, I found out I'm going to be an aunt again next year, so I started making the newborn vertebrae cardigan, and I had some yarn in my stash that I purchased last year what was it this year at Skane Sisters in Sydney. I think it was this year in Australia Day weekend, and I think it's by Olan in Ireland, or it could be Renan Ollie, and she's based in, I think, South Australia. I can't remember because I can't find the ball band, but it's this really pretty teal blue with chocolate and black and what do you call it, mustard yellow. So that's really, really pretty. And that was going to be socks for Wayne, but I'm not in a sock kick at the moment, so it's getting made into a cardigan, and a very cute one at that. So this is what I've done so far. I've just about finished the bottom of the cardigan, and then I can start the sleeves, and then I'll work the little band that goes around the inside, like the collar, and that'll be in the mustard yellow. The cuffs and around the inside of the collar will be all in this mustard yellow colour, which I didn't have in my stash, so that's what I got at Spotlight yesterday. They don't have a huge selection on, but thankfully they had something that was going to match. So I was looking for chocolate brown, but I found this mustard yellow in Peyton's Dreamtime Baby, extra fine merino 4-ply, and it's really lovely and soft and squishy, and it's just perfect for what I want it for. I also will have enough left, I think, to do a hat for the baby, so I'll use this for the brim or something, maybe. And then I got some extra of that mustard yellow, as well as a fawn colour, to make some little pants by Tin Can Knits. I can't remember the pattern, but I'll share it with you once I've started it. But it's got a two-tone colour, so the pants with the legs is one colour, and then the waistband up the top is like a wide band in a contrasting colour with like an I-cord tie through it. So that's going to be the bottom part with the legs, and that's going to be the contrasting button band up the top, and that'll go as a little set, knitted set for the baby. So that's what I got to work on. And by the way, Merry Christmas. It's only 40 days till Christmas, just to scare you. Hope you're all ready. We've already got our Christmas tree up. I'll show you that in a second. Anyway, that is all of my yarny talk for today. So I'll just quickly show you our Christmas tree. There it is. There's Miss Pearl. Oh, isn't she cute? She was 14 there. She's 17 and a half now. And then I got this at Coles the other day. It's cheap as, like $6. I'll just flick it on. And it has like a little battery operated light in there, and it changes colour. And it does different, see, it goes faster and slower. So it does that. And I have a couple of new ornaments. I've got this one, rainbow. I've got our little owl. And I bought this Aboriginal one from Richmond in Tasmania when we were on holiday, and brought out my yarn related decorations. I've got a little knitted Christmas pudding, and I recently got this little guy. Isn't he cute? From Bed Bath and Table. He's all felted. And I got this one for Wayne over here near the TV. Here's this little reindeer. He's very cute. So that's it. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm not sure when I'll get the next one done for knitting. Probably maybe not till after Christmas, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, till my next podcast, keep knitting, and happy prepping for Christmas. Don't get stressed too much, just enjoy the moment of being with family, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.